Hello, is anybody out there?
Jingle bells, everybody. Jingle bells.
Rock. You know, I heard they rock.
Jingle bells do rock.
Happy holidays to all of you from all of us.
Right.
To all one of you from all two of us.
Right. Happy Apes-Miss. Chris Mapes. What do you do with that? Help me out here.
I don't know. There's nothing there.
I'm sinking fast.
Welcome back to You Should Know This Song. I'm Race.
I'm REID of APEZ. We are...
Mixtapes. Not the mixtapes.
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 Don't get us involved in any of that the bullshit. That's a harsh...
Can you please explain the meaning of the word the?
We're not going there. We are not going there. This is a show we like to call fondly, You Should Know This Song.
Or... You should know what the hell's going on.
Right.
We should know what the hell's going on.
Or you should know better, damn it.
That's what my wife calls it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not true. Not true. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this is our music lyric challenge BS commentary. Fooling around, wasting some time, mostly just entertaining ourselves.
Yeah.
I know, let's face it.
And by the way, this is episode 50.
Right, the big 50. We're 50.
We're 50 apes old.
Give me my Doan's pills.
I wish I was 50. I don't even remember 50.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal. It's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal, and it's nifty.
It's nifty.
Right.
Nifty 50.
That'll shut down the conversation real fast.
Just wanted to say, hey, congratulations on 50 episodes.
Yes. Virtual shake across the way. And you person out there are welcome to send us all the congratulations on our 50th. I mean, we're not going to turn it down. Congratulations. Yes. Now I'm going to have to remember not to go with the plural. Don't let your ego get out of check there. So it's a big celebration on a big milestone. And you know what we're going to do in recognition, in honor?
Same bullshit we do every week.
Bullshit we do every week. Same stupid crap. So let's go ahead and talk about things like who we like out there in Apes Land, and what things we've done wrong, and you know how ashamed we are.
So NESTkeeping is what you're talking about.
Yes,
okay.
Those things.
Okay, cool.
So hi to everybody who's listening, and recognition and props to all of the apes out there, official and unofficial. You're all, you know, we carry you around in our hearts.
Yeah.
You know, it's an important thing. And we appreciate you. And then getting on to, we don't have any names to name this particular episode.
Everybody, all of them.
All of them. All the names. Just drop the scroll. You're all on the nice list. It is Christmas time after all, so might as well have a naughty and nice list. If you think you're a naughty ape, we would like to know.
Can I reference the Peanuts Christmas Time is Here song?
You can reference whatever.
So that I can get it on the playlist for the holidays?
Yeah, I heard a version of that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny you said that. I think I sent that to you.
You did.
A version of it that is so, I just thought it was so cool.
I will see if I can
really
track
cool
that down and get it on the playlist.
Who is that from? Anyway, we'll get it on the playlist. Okay.
Squirrel.
Exactly. So, Merry Christmas. Here we go, NESTkeeping, as we're supposed to. I'm going to go first.
You go.
That way there's no confusion, except for my confusion.
Sure.
Not like between us, there's no confusion. Have I confused it enough? We mentioned James Taylor in some regard, and with respect to helping write a song. Yes.
Sweet for 20G.
Sweet song for 20G.
Sweet for 20G.
Sweet for 20G.
Yes.
A few episodes ago. And among the writers, Livingston Taylor was referenced. Yes?
Yes.
And we were like, hey, is that James Taylor's brother?
Uncle? Mom? What?
Right. We didn't know. We looked it up. Look at that. It's James Taylor's brother. How do you like them apples?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he helped write it, and he's an artist, yeah? Isn't that what he primarily was referenced as?
Multimedia.
And then sort of related to James Taylor, we also were talking about the song American Pie by Don McLean, after it being a challenge on the show. And I had found in researching a little bit reference to the all of the information out there. There's copious amounts of information out there that backing vocals were provided by a group of singers calling themselves the West 44th Street Rhythm and Noise Choir. And I didn't really look deeply into it because
who they were, but
because a quick Google search of that you would see for yourself if you took literally 2 seconds is article after article after article, just pages of, you can see in the sample text for what's inside the website that it relates to this group of singers being on that song.
Right.
Over and over.
And that's the only real reference to them is on that song.
Race of Apes found an article from a writer, the Troubadour Tribune on WordPress is the name of their, what do you call that? Site. And they were did a self-correction saying that the producer on the song is who said the West 44th Street Rhythm and Noise Choir did that backing vocal, but Don McLean apparently came forward and is quoted as saying that never happened.
Well, he said specifically that Carly Simon, because the reference was
to a group of them, including
right
Carly Simon,
James Taylor, Livingston Taylor, and Pete
Seeger.
Seeger. He came out and said in an album, and by the way, the producer who originally referenced this was Ed Freeman. That's the guy who produced the American Pie tune. He came out and said, not Ed Freeman, but Don McLean came out and said, under no circumstances were James Taylor and Carly Simon there. He didn't reference the other two people that were referenced in the article.
True.
He just said that didn't happen.
Those two people weren't there.
And so in the article that you're talking about on the Troubadour, the correction that you're talking about, he's saying, I don't know, the guy that wrote the article on the Troubadour, or the
who
site
derived much of the information from Yahoo.
Right.
An article on the subject naming the choir and those players on the song.
Right.
This writer for the Troubadour referenced most of their material for their article and then went back and corrected after finding the Don McLean statement.
Right. So essentially, no one knows, but Don McLean says sure
those two people were not
those two people were not there.
And
however, if you look at any references for that, it's all over the place. Like you said, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of pages that say that the backing band or the vocal band was this choir, and that those are the members of the choir.
Right, and they named those people as the members of the choir, but you don't find. I didn't find any other reference for any song or any performance
for that choir
under any other
the West 44th Street
application.
Rhythm and Noise Choir.
Yeah. So it would be kind of cool if anybody out there finds or has anything else about that group of people, or and
if you happen to be sitting in on the sessions and remember taking a picture of them.
Yes. Or if just you find something about other people, maybe some of them or not, comprising a group of vocalists called the West 44th Street Rhythm and Noise Choir on other recordings.
It sounds to me like something that got tossed together at the moment.
Yeah, and maybe it was those people, maybe it wasn't, whatever. Anyway, it's a big mystery, and it deserves to be tracked down by the FBI, and we're not going to leave it alone until everybody shuts us off.
Well,
so
let's dig him up and get Hoover on it. What do you say?
Dig him up. Okay, so that's what I got. You got anything in the
I had one that I was going to
NESTkeeping?
actually save till the next episode, but I'm going to toss. I have a couple. I'm going to toss them in here.
Get it in there.
Yeah. I wanted to say thank you and God bless to Nico McBrain, the drummer for Iron Maiden.
Oh, yeah.
He retired on December 7th of 2024 after 42 years with Iron Maiden.
42 years with Iron Maiden.
He just said, I'm tired.
I want to go fishing.
I'm tired. I'm done.
What he said.
He didn't say any of that, but he did actually actively retire on the 7th. That was supposed to be his last performance.
So we'll be hearing about him playing on other people's tracks in about 2 months when he's so bored out of his mind that he has to get back in his.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it did not cite any kind of illness or anything. It just said, "Hey, I'm retiring."
Yeah.
So, man, 42 years with the same band and a pretty badass band.
Yeah, I mean they
They're
hung in
Iron
there,
fucking Maiden,
had
right?
some songs and made a name for themselves. Beautiful thing. And to choose, especially with all the rock and roll stories of people who they toured for 42 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know when their last tour was.
And I don't know. Well, I know that their most recent album is in the last couple of years.
Yeah, you hear about long-term rock and rollers like that. Rode Hard, Put Up Wet, who retire or, unfortunately they have come down with some chronic illness. They're going to die there, or they've died. After that, I mean, to be perfectly honest,
Yes,
after
I
that
got you.
period of time,
It
it's
just sounded kind of dismissive the way you said it.
it's
there.
somebody to, who has said,
I'm going to quit before I die.
I'm just going to do something else with my life for a while. I mean, more power to you. It's awesome.
And I mean, they still, and again, it's 2024, okay?
Right.
They've been playing since the late 70s, the early 80s, whatever it is. They still fill stadiums in Europe. I mean, stadiums. We're talking about playing at festivals where there's 150,000 people.
Yeah.
They are one of the icons of metal.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Big cool shit.
Very cool.
And then I'd mentioned before, Mike of Apes, friend of the show, friend of ours, and I have been getting together on occasion to swap albums that the other isn't familiar with.
Yes.
Okay? And it tends to be, and I'm a little older than Mike, so it tends to be, oh, here's this shit from 1974 that I play for him that he doesn't know. And he plays me something from last week or last month or 3 years ago.
Right.
And he turned me on to a band called Volk, V-O-L-K.
Okay.
Okay?
V-O-L-K.
V-O-L-K, as in people. At any rate, this band, Volk, it's a man and a woman, Elliot Reich, Elliot E-L-E, that's the woman, on drums and vocals, Christopher Lowe on guitar and vocals. They met in Berlin in 2013 at a brothel turned bar called Madame Claude's.
Huh.
Or Madame Claude's. And they are a rockabilly band. A lot of fun, man. He turned me onto an album called Cashville from a few years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, man, these guys are good. It's just the two of them.
Sure.
And they rock their asses off. It's really worth listening. They're so unknown, they don't have a Wikipedia page. But you can find them on the web. Just go search for Volk, V-O-L-K, and Nashville in the same search, and they'll pop up.
Just your brief description of the two of them and reference to Nashville reminds me of, I'm trying to think of the name of the band, but the song will trigger it, and maybe you'll remember the name of the band.
Timbuk 3?
Yeah. Future's so bright, I got to wear
Yeah,
shades.
same kind of thing.
Yeah. Husband and wife duo.
Yeah, this is not a husband and wife, by the way. They are.
But
it's a man
male,
and
female.
woman that's just the two of them in the band, right?
A twosome,
exactly.
whatever you call it. A duo, I think, is probably what you call it. But twosome might also be applicable.
Or toothsome.
Right. I'm so toothsome.
My brain just went down 7 different paths there.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for keep going.
Yes.
For keeping going.
Well, thanks for sharing that, and I hope they'll get some exposure on the playlist, of course.
Yes, they will, and then the one listener can go and check out their site.
Yes.
Their stuff.
Yes, and they'll have two views on their site. Okay, well, thanks for that. And what else you got? Anything more there?
I think it's time to get down to business.
Down to it. Let's get down to it. Soldiers are cutting us down.
That should have been done long ago.
We're gonna do. Let's just keep doing that through the whole thing. I just love it. It's so great. We're gonna do Prime Cut today,
and that, and then quick hits.
And quick hits today. Out here in the
we are outside.
Balmy mid-December sunshine.
It is wild, man.
Terrifying.
It's in the 50s.
Yeah.
It's middle of the day, middle of the month, end of the year.
Right.
And it's fucking 50 degrees outside.
Degrees. We had pretty harsh temperatures and some a pretty serious snowstorm for this area. 3 to 5 inches of snow and some heavy wind and a little ice just a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And now it's, camping weather for crying out loud.
Exactly.
Crazy. We're going to start off with Prime and get it rolling, and you're going to start. How about
I'm going to start. So, REID of APEZ, you should know this song.
Prime it, you primate. Okay, lyric challenges. It's early in the morning, about 2:45. It's early in the morning, about 2:45. It sounds rockabilly-ish, sort of beat at least. I'm sitting here talking with my baby over cigarettes and coffee. Why do you keep giving me clues that I don't know? What is that? I don't know it.
What is that?
I'm just gonna say I don't know.
What in the hell is that?
What is it?
All right, it's a tune called, oddly enough, Cigarettes and Coffee.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
By Otis Redding.
Huh, I don't know it. I don't think I know it.
And neither did I, and it's a damn good tune.
Very cool.
1966 off of the album called The Soul Album.
Yeah.
Written by Eddie Thomas, Jay Walker, and Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler of many, many, many songwriting credit. Recorded at Stax Records in Memphis by the house band. Well, you want to take a wild guess at who the house band for Stax Records was in 1966?
Who was the house band for Stax? Fabulous Funk Brothers? Who?
How about Booker T and the MGs?
Booker T. It almost came out of my mouth.
Did you really?
I really did. And in fairness, because I recently, a few days ago,
cheated?
Referred to, yes. I read your mind. Hacked your laptop. I knew you were going to ask this. I was looking at some information just a few days ago, and I saw Booker T. Or I was reminded of Booker T being related to Stax.
Yeah, Stax Records, man. And who, I should say who knew, but everybody knows. Anybody who has a brain in their head, because we both referenced it before.
Right. Booker T and the MGs, though, go check them out.
Oh, man.
Very cool thing.
Green Onions playing through my head right now.
Yeah. Should be.
They can't see me dancing, thank God.
Okay, my turn. My turn. It's my turn to be what I should be. Should I stop that
Please,
now?
Yeah, it's really hurting my brain.
Okay, you race of apes. I'm imagining myself just going ahead and singing that with all the Broadway stage drama I can and ignoring you as you go, shut up!
Pardon me, it made me cough my cigarette up through my nose.
Okay. All right, you should know this swung. This is a good one if you can guess.
The clue is, if you don't like what you got, why don't you change it? Why don't you give me the next clue, please?
Oh, I hope you get this.
It sounds familiar.
This. Next clue is...
If your world is all screwed up, rearrange it. And I knew that was kind of the volume,
tone,
the rhythm there. Male singer.
Oh, he's coming up with it. He's coming up with it. Smell that, you guys.
That's burning. That's burning. Yeah.
That's brain.
I don't have
cooking.
it. What is it?
It's brain cooking. It's Raise a Little Hell.
Oh, yeah.
By Trooper.
Yeah. Now I don't know that they were a one-hit wonder, but I can't think of anything else by them.
They had a couple other songs, but they've got an interesting background that people will want to go check out. I'm not going to expound on it right now, but they weren't long-lived. But this song is a really cool song, and they do the other songs that they had on the radio. I think they did 3 albums, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Brian Smith and Raymond McGuire wrote the song from 1978. Off of an album called Thick as Thieves. It's a good album.
Hadn't that been in a couple of... I think there's a couple of movies that have that reference too.
I wouldn't doubt it. I didn't see that in my reviews.
I want to say in a bar scene somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The name of the song is Raise a Little Hell.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You know, how applicable is that to so many of those situations. So that's mine. What do you got?
I got a commonly referred to series of artists here, at least by me. You, Reed Kruger, should know this song.
Okay, give it. Chunk it. My lyric clue is, here I am, baby, right here where you found me, trying to break these chains that surround me. Boy, that gave me a couple of songs. Next line is, if I look a little different, it's because I've changed. Half-painted pictures are all that remains. Wow, I'm drawing blanks. I'm just not... Here I am, baby, right where you found me. Trying to break these chains that surround me. If I look a little different...
I will tell you that it is a song, it is a band that I reference frequently that you're unfamiliar with.
I don't have anything.
It is Trapped Again is the name of the song.
Yeah.
By Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes.
Southside Johnny. There you go.
Written by three guys hanging out in Jersey. You know, just 3 guys.
Jersey.
Bruce Springsteen, Johnny Van Zant, and Johnny Lyon, who is Southside Johnny. 1978.
Just three
guys. Right. 1978, Hearts of Stone, produced by Little Steven, and I believe it's the only song on that album that's not written by Little Steven exclusively.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I came across a couple more Little Steven things this week as well that were just... The guy just continues to pop up in the ether.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And every time it's... And then this guy couldn't get a contract, so Steven Van Zant turned him on to Bob. Or Johnny Van Zant, Steven Van Zant turned him on to Bob. Or this guy then couldn't get this done, so Johnny Van Zant did this.
Or this guy needed this player.
Right,
for
exactly.
this
or this guy
situation
needed,
or whatever. Yeah.
It's over and over and over again. Like, and I know I talk about him all the time, but like he just seems to be like, not only is he really steeped in the history of rock and roll and really gives a fuck about keeping it going and keeping the history going, you know, getting the history out there. But he also just seems to be a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, the Keanu Reeves of rock and roll, you know, always doing shit for people.
You've referenced that before. It's funny because I didn't go look it up and I hadn't heard that Keanu Reeves is such a nice guy, but I'll take your word for it. And now I'm going to go look it up and bring it back and, you know, find all these references.
Okay, did I tell you? I got one for you. So he's... I think he lives outside of...
Now you're talking about...
I'm talking about Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
He lives outside of L.A. somewhere. Bakersfield somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like out there. I don't know. But there's a plane that he's on with a bunch of people. He's probably sitting in first class, I would imagine. And
if he's a really nice guy, he gave his first class seat to somebody else.
there you go. And there's a bus. There's a delay in the connecting flight to the smaller place. And there's like 15, 16 people that are there waiting. And he's like, screw it, we'll just charter a bus. And he charters a bus. And he sits and entertains them for the hour and a half drive, like just telling stories and being nice and being a good guy.
Right.
And then like motions to the driver and, hey, pull up at that Hardee's. And he gets out and walks off.
Burgers.
No. He gets up and walks off and says, hey, have a good night. And he covered the bus and like everybody got where they were going.
Right.
And he walked off into the evening somewhere. And it's like, it's not uncommon. It's like that kind of thing all the time.
Huh.
And I've read stories of him essentially saying, hey, that last $4 million that you're supposed to give me, let's split that up amongst the special effects people because they did such a good job on this album, on this movie.
Like, right.
That kind of thing. It's very, very common.
Or let's channel my money off of this to charity, or let's
exactly.
whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway.
I can't say I wouldn't want to be Keanu Reeves, even if only just to be in the Matrix series, if nothing else.
Well, you live in a simulation, right? Isn't that what they're all saying?
Yes. I sound like a nerd, but no one's going to dispute.
I was going to say.
More of a dork, less of a nerd.
I would agree. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sure? You may not be. You're going to find out.
Let's go.
Race of Apes. Let me see. I will. You owe me $20 if you guess this song.
In a previous episode, he offered $20 if I got a challenge, and I got the challenge. I nailed it, right? And so for that whole episode, he was trying to weasel it back.
$20 back, and I didn't. I failed miserably. Okay, here's your lyric challenge.
And the lyric is, get out. I'm telling you now. Do you catch my drift? What could be plainer than this? Boy, that rings bells. Give me the next line.
I can give you another line. I do think you know this song. It's not right off the top of your head, I know, but
nothing more to be said. Write me a letter instead. I don't mean to be cruel, but I'm finished with you. I don't know what this is. But I like it.
Great song by the Tubes called Talk to You Later.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to hear it again tonight. It's a great song. And
that is a great song.
The Tubes had a lot of great songs, but this is a really great song. So that is from 1981, and it's off of an album called The Completion Backward Principle, which is a great name, concept, phrase, for crying out loud. This was written by, strap in.
I'm strapped.
Stephen Lee Lukather, Vince Welnick, David W. Foster, Rick Mark Anderson, Michael David Cotton, Prairie Prince, Roger A. Steen, John Waldo Waybill, who is Fee Waybill.
Yes.
From the Tubes. Now, I'm going to veer just a little, but
Please
only a little here, because Steve Lukather caught my attention. So, you know him probably more from Steely Dan than from Toto, but maybe equally from both.
Yeah.
So I started looking, I hit the wiki page, and this is all Wikipedia based. Donate to Wikipedia, and this is one of just a number of recent examples that I feel like yelling donate to Wikipedia. Steve Lukather's story is so awesome to read about. Like, this is one of those, we talk about the guy who we referenced in the last episode. Russ Ballard.
Always being in something.
Always his song. He wrote all these songs. His name
comes up all the time.
The singer for Survivor.
Jim
Peterick. Showing up in all these places, and a lot of other people we talk about too
they just keep coming up.
This guy's wiki page and clicking some links off of it to various things just reminds me of how so many people, you were just talking about Little Steven, there's so much of music and certainly rock, pop music, but I know it applies to folk, and I know it applies to country, and I know it applies to all these things. But the musical culture, the musical universe, the musical population, that's like, I just keep seeing it as, a cheesy as it sounds, a tapestry. Like, it's so interesting how people know people, and people are interacting with people and making connections with people, and they're behind the sound that you hear on something you had no idea.
But once you realize it,
when it's brought to your attention, you're like, holy shit, I knew that all along and I never recognized it. I got to go listen to that right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or holy shit, I never remembered, or, whatever. This guy, the story of how he became a musician, why he became a musician is interesting enough. And born in 1957, and influenced by Hendrix and what have you, and decided he had to play guitar. But he has played on 1,500 albums.
Wow.
1,500 people's albums. And the names are just all over the place. When you think about some of what's referenced, I'm dying to just read line for line the whole wiki page. You know what I mean? I'm dying to. But if you skim through this even and look at some of the names, Boz Scaggs, you know, relation to Al Di Meola and the guitar that he plays and why he plays it, and then the albums that he's been on and the players he's played for, and the sort of peek at his perspective on becoming, he really wanted to become a session musician. He found, like early on, this fascinating appreciation for what session musicians did and how cool it was to be a session musician, because you ultimately got to play for and get to know and experience all these great artists.
And all these genres and
all
be
these
involved
genres,
in all these
right,
different
and be involved in
environments.
all this different stuff. And so he did, and so he was, but he got really good and he got recognized, and so he got pulled out to be a primary guitarist in a lot of Steely Dan stuff.
Right.
And he got to form Toto with some great other players.
Right.
And do so many other cool things over such a long history. And then how he views playing the guitar and some of the other ensembles. And then, as a little treat for the holiday season, he put out a Christmas album. He was sort of prompted by his producer, I'm not sure it was his producer or his agent. Someone in that arena said, you need to do a Christmas album because your sound is so, you know, great. You can get together with all these kick-ass people and do a Christmas album. So he did a Christmas album, and he had go look up the Christmas album and listen to it, for crying out loud, and specifically for you, Race of Apes, because I really think you will just sink into it. It is your kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has, you know, Steve Vai involvement. He has Satriani involvement. He has, you know, Di Meola involvement. He has Larry Carlton involvement.
Guitar heaven.
He has Eddie Van Halen on there. He has Johnny Winter on there. He has also saxophonist and keyboardist and other players
of that same ilk
on there who are, and he has Sammy Davis Jr. singing one of the tracks.
No shit.
It is so fucking cool to go. His story is so cool. It's so rich. It's so much of what goes on behind the scenes that you just don't understand. It's worth taking the time to dig into a little.
If you think the way that we think about this stuff.
Right. It's like beautiful.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like beautiful. You just come away with this big smile like, fuck shit. Things are so cool.
Yes.
Like really behind the scenes, things are so cool the way they work. So that's all the blathering I'll do about Steve Lukather.
Hold on. All right. You listened to the Christmas album.
I did. Was
there a tune in particular that you'd like to have on the playlist?
Oh, well. I honestly hadn't thought about that.
You should have seen his eyes light up, kids. It was like the little light bulb went off over his head, literally.
Oh, well. Yes. Specifically with reference to the Sammy Davis Jr. thing, which kind of steals a little of the thunder on the Steve Lukather part, but
still,
the song is done Steve Lukather and those players style, and Sammy Davis is singing, so it's not, you're going to get to hear the whole thing. So Jingle Bells.
Okay.
And the rest of them, I'm just going to say, are great. So pick like Carol of the Bells.
Okay. That's one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Pick a couple. But seriously, go look at the information on who played on the album, who he got together, how the album was thrown. This Christmas album was literally thrown together 6 days. And he was like, I'm never doing another Christmas album. But it's great. I mean, it's really very cool. So that's my tirade about Steve Lukather. And another one of those instances about session musicians, some of his quotes in this wiki article and related articles you might click on about how he really values the whole session musician industry that was, and how it has just been completely wiped out. Like it's just not there anymore.
Right.
Due to a bunch of, a lot of technology.
Right.
But a bunch of unfortunate things that have happened in the music industry is interesting to read about and be appreciative of as well.
Well, and we've talked at length about 3 or 4 groups of session musicians.
Right.
Specifically, the Wrecking Crew, the Fabulous Funk Brothers, Muscle Shoals.
Yes.
You turned me on to something. My sister turned me on to something. Was it you or Paula about the Philadelphia Soul? That was you,
That
right?
was me. That was me. I have that conversation saved.
Okay, cool. But I mean, there's just like these guys really, these folks, it's not guys, these folks, that are responsible for so much of the music that you listen to and for creating the sound. They're not just the guy who played bass on that.
Right.
They're the guys who wrote the song or did the arrangements or all of that. I mean, it really is session musicians. And how many different session musicians have we talked about that went on to become huge stars? Leon Russell, Glenn Campbell,
right.
Boz Scaggs.
And so many of these session musicians and groups of session musicians made the songs that you know and really
not just played the instruments, but made the songs.
Made the songs. To me, and a point about that to me that's critically important, and easily lost with the younger generation and so much technology, sampling things and what have you, is losing where the riff that you are in love with from the song that you're listening to actually came from. Who's responsible for that original hook or that riff or that little section that's being sampled? So much of what's out there in the past 20 years that's been sampled comes from these people, session musicians who took somebody's song idea, good song, coming into the studio to record it, and they were like, well, that chord progression just isn't going to cut it for me. Here's what I think you should do. And everybody going like, why didn't we think of that?
Right.
And that's what ends up making the song. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So,
and you see it over in all of the research that you and I have done specifically to this, and not because we're any kind of wizards or anything, but just in going through and doing the research.
You see
it over and over and over again, where the artist, the session musician comes in and we saw it with Skunk Baxter and 9 to 5, or Skunk Baxter and Disco Hit.
I can't remember it either
Donna Summer.
right now. Yes.
They essentially say,
people come in with a good song and they make it a great song. They make it a hit.
And over and over and over you see this, and we've talked about it dozens of times.
Right.
I think, and I know this was your little rant, but it kind of really now I want to go look this up.
That was one of the most. I have an appreciation for Steve Lukather anyway.
Yeah.
Not because I really was into Toto a lot. I really dug the instrumentality, the virtuosity that was in a lot of their stuff. Some of their music was inarguably poppy sap in a lot of ways.
Right.
But it wasn't instrumentally or musically not great.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was all very cool, very creative. And knowing Steve Lukather from that and knowing so much, having heard so much Steve Lukather in the Steely Dan stuff and hearing his sound, his very signature sound, and then reading this article and all these artists and songs and going, yeah, that was that song, and all this stuff just popping into your head. It was exhilarating.
Wayne of Apes is a huge Steve Lukather fan, and he's a metal guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's also a guitarist.
Right.
And while you were talking, I was like, man, Wayne should be here for this.
In one of these articles, somebody was talking about Lukather and Eddie Van Halen being on Michael Jackson's song Beat It. And I can't remember. I'm not going to veer too much further here, for crying out loud. We've been on this for a few minutes. The person's quote, he's a person you'll recognize in music as being substantial. The person's quote was, when I started going to listen to Beat It, after just a listen or two, I didn't go there to listen to what Eddie Van Halen did. I went there to listen to what Steve Lukather did.
Yeah.
Because his sound and he played the I'm going to call it rhythm guitar, but the main guitar part through the song. What Lukather did is what anchors the song and made it a hit.
Right.
Like that thing he did there, you need to know how to get that sound and that effect out of your guitar playing.
Right.
To make that song what it is. It was just a cool thing to read. Anyway, that's my rant on that one. Wowzers. Let's move on, and you give me a clue. I mean, I could just go on about it for a while.
I know you could, and I'm digging hearing you. I mean, you're obviously enthused. It was obviously an article or information that got you going, and that's what we're doing. So
that's what we're doing.
I'm not trying to rush you along in any way.
No, not at all. I'm rushing myself along. I didn't get that impression.
This is what we do. Okay, we get excited about the shit we listen to, and hopefully get the one listener excited as well.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so moving on from that really interesting, thank you so much for sharing that little piece there. You, sir, should know this song.
My lyric clue is, yes, I'm fumbling and I know my car don't start. This is a drunk guy, late at night, left the bar. His life is not in a good place. And the next line is, yes, I'm stumbling and I know I play a bad guitar. Oh, wow. I love the lyrics, but I don't know it. It's not off the top of my head.
Okay, it is Lovin' Cup by the Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Oh.
And you know this song.
I do know that song.
Yes, you absolutely do.
Wow.
Written by Paul Butterfield, 1966.
I was gonna say 67. Believe it or not,
I believe you. I believe you. You've never lied to me about anything that I've taught you on.
Never. Still not gonna give me.
By the way,
back,
part of that original band, original Butterfield Blues Band, was Elvin Bishop, Mike Bloomfield, and David Sanborn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. I mean, like serious names.
Right.
Each of those guys went on to be heavyweights in the industry in their own instruments. But What's Shakin', the album, this is a weird thing, because I went looking for this and I'm like, because I know the song and I love the song, I'm like, it's not on one of their albums. It's not on any of their albums. This album, What's Shakin', is a compilation album released by Elektra Records in 1966. It features the earliest recordings by the Lovin' Spoonful and the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, as well as the only released recordings by the ad hoc studio group, Eric Clapton and the Powerhouse.
Huh, fantastic.
Essentially,
I want to hear the album now.
Elektra said, we've got these songs that we can't use by these artists that are really not that well known, because it was 1966.
Sure,
they weren't really that well known. And so they kind of put this album together.
Just to be like like an up-and-coming artist kind of album.
Maybe it was just let's use these studio hours productively.
Right.
Whatever it was. And some of the songs that are on this album, and I don't have the list in front of me, are it's pretty impressive.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. And like, I just can't imagine what studio exec said, oh, what are we going to do with this shit? Let's just toss an album together. Because I mean, that's what happened, right?
Can you imagine the environment in which? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We know these people as being so much more substantial, and at the time they were like, these new kids.
Exactly.
We don't want to completely throw this stuff away. That's hilarious.
So
I'm super interested to hear that album.
What's Shakin'?
What's Shakin'?
It's a compilation.
Elektra, What's Shakin'?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. Nice. Good one. Thank you for that. And now you're going to thank me for this. I will say, if you know these lyrics, how do I say that? There should be some money on the table for it. That's all I can say. If you know these lyrics, you will know. I'm pretty sure you will know the song.
All right.
Here's your clue.
Gonna eat it raw. She's my abaluna. Suck a tentacle, dip it in sauce. Hot green root. It sure is boss.
I will.
You got more?
Give you more.
Okay, because I'm lost, dude.
And I'll ask you to think about what hot green root might be.
Well, I think that's probably wasabi.
There you go. It's a clue.
My only vice is to slice it nice and wrap it in rice. Oh, what a device. So they're talking about sushi, but I don't know the song.
Oh, I think you know the song.
What is it?
The song is Sushi Girl by the Tubes. I got a Tubes twofer going on here. That's a Tubes twofer.
And I think it's not the first time that you've referenced that song. I think you mentioned that song in passing when we were talking about the Tubes before.
I might have mentioned the song. I don't think I've used it as a challenge.
No, you haven't used it as a clue, but I never knew that there was a song called Sushi Girl. But now that you say it, I remember you saying it before. Yeah.
Right. This song is quirky as shit. The lyrics are funky like that, and it is just it's another cool Tube song off of the completion backwards principle. And when I was looking at the previous song, when I thought of the previous song I was looking at, I couldn't help but think of this song too, and I was like, screw it, I'm putting both of them on there.
There you go.
Because they're both great, and I really enjoyed both of the songs. But it's also, very briefly, much more briefly than before, a reason to promote the Tubes story. For God's sake, everybody, go read the Tubes story. How the band formed, what they went through, what they were trying to do, what fuck-ups they were, what fun they were having, the people they interacted with. It's really, that is rock and roll. Like the Tubes is rock and roll. A little bit of Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of shit, a little bit of seriously trying to do cool shows. a little bit of goofing around, a lot of drugs at the time, right? Debauchery, but commentary on protest commentary type stuff, commercialism, middle fingering and all that.
What do you want from life?
Right up on the edge of punk. You know what I mean? Like influencing punk. It is a cool rant. So that song also written by Steve Lukather and the guys who were named before: Vince Welnick, David Foster, Rick Mark Anderson, Michael, David Cotton, Roger, Stephen, and John Waldo, Fee Waybill, John Waldo Waybill, but also Prairie Prince. Check out Prairie Prince's story. It's another one of those unbelievable people who just wove themselves behind the scenes. It's so cool to read this shit. Donate to Wikipedia, donate to Wikipedia, donate to Wikipedia. 1981, Completion Backward Principle. Very cool song, and that's the Tubes, and that's what I got for that one. See how self-controlled I was?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, patting myself on the back and still out $20. Go ahead.
Okay, where am I? Where am I? I lost my place here. Oh, there we go. You, sir, should know this song.
All right, what I just got is Take Me As I Am, Excuse for a Man, Whenever I Push Someone Stops My Hand. Damn, Race Bone. Give me some lyrics that I can guess. Next lyric is, as a matter of interest, tell me if you will, why didn't Rosemary ever take that pill? I don't think I've ever heard those lyrics in my life. If I have, it was in a song that I was just enjoying the music too much and I didn't pay attention to shit else about it. What is it?
The song is Why Didn't Rosemary?
Okay. By?
Deep Purple. Off of the first recording of the Mark II iteration.
You're sure about that?
I'm
Mark
certain
II
of it.
thing?
I've read it 3 times. Written by Blackmore, Evans, Lord, Simper, and Pace, which is not the Mark II iteration.
But written by them, but not recorded by them.
Right, exactly.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
I see.
Apparently, and the album is called Deep Purple. It's referred to as Deep Purple 3. It's their third album,
yeah.
But it's just called Deep Purple. And that song was written after the band had gone to see the movie Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. And there was some question about whether or not it was going to make it onto the album because Rosemary's Baby, if you happen to be alive in the 60s, it was a big deal.
Quite controversial.
Yeah, quite controversial. It was very, 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 essentially, Satan impregnates a woman.
Yeah.
Story. And it wasn't a B movie.
Oh, no.
It was
ran.
A huge.
It ran.
What they would call now a blockbuster.
Blockbuster, right. It was well attended. Ticket sales were.
Yeah, I heard that, and I'm like.
And it was, it was a lot of, I want to use the phrase urban legend. What's the word I'm looking for there? It was sensationalized. And
I mean, the church demonized the movie and so forth and so on.
Right. That is, that's a good one. I don't know that I've ever heard that song.
I only heard it.
I mean, I heard it when somebody, when the album was being played in the background of a party or something like that. You know what I mean?
I only heard it recently, and I was like, what the hell is this? Because it was obviously Deep Purple. I don't know that album. I have no familiarity with that third album. Zero.
Huh. Well, that is bizarre for me to hear from you.
Yes.
Okay. It's my turn. Here comes your challenge. I've got one more after this. So you, Race of Apes, should know this song.
Have you ever made out in dark hallways, displaced a kiss that made your day? I like it, but I don't know it.
Not ringing a bell?
Nope.
It's fast-paced, and it's essentially rap. Here's your next line.
Or say, play a track from your record collection. It's your mix, congratulations. Have you ever made out in dark hallways, displaced a kiss that made your day? Or say, play a track from your record collection. It's your mix, congratulations. Nope. I don't know it.
Not hitting you?
Nope.
It's the song Down by the band 311.
Okay.
If you don't know the song, and if you don't know this album in particular from 311, but if you don't know 311, I mean, come on. 1985, off of the album 311, their, I was going to say inaugural album, debut album, written by Douglas Martinez and Nicholas Hexum. It's a great rockin', stompin', awesome tune, and everybody should know it. And 311 doesn't get enough recognition for their music, I think, in my opinion. They were dissed a little bit by other artists because they were white guys who were like rapping and doing like surf punk reggae.
Sure.
Rap, kind of. But I really appreciated a lot of their music. I really enjoyed a lot of what they did. And they've been around for a long time. Anyway, 311. There's my go. What do you got?
All right. This is a song that you definitely know, but I think the lyrics might be a little... you should know this song. You do know this song.
Okay, what I got is Alcatraz. Well, this is the fifth that, who knows if I know it because I haven't known any of them.
Neither one of us have gotten a clue in this episode, in this segment.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
It's been interesting, but it hasn't been very successful. Okay, my clue is Alcatraz is like a home sweet home. I'm so wanted and I'm never alone. Not ringing a bell right now. I should know this song. Give me another clue.
It's coming.
Next line is San Quentin is the place to be. I'm so happy I don't want to be free. I'm happy I don't want to be free.
You got it. I know you knew the song.
I didn't do it, but I love that song. I didn't recognize that first line at all, but now I totally do.
I had to go 3 verses deep to get something that wasn't just so obvious.
Right. Oh my gosh, that song. Good morning, Judge. How are you today?
There you go.
I'm in trouble. Please put me away. Yeah, that song is great. 10cc.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Judge.
What year?
Oh my gosh.
Take 4 years off of it, whatever you're going to say.
75 is what's coming to mind.
77.
Okay. The first thing that came to mind was 78.
There you go. Off of the
off it.
Deceptive Bends album, written by Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman. This was their second, Chicago. This was their 6th consecutive top 10 single for the band in the UK. This one reached number 5.
Nice.
Now,
Good to know.
10cc was a good band.
Yeah.
And I liked them, and they had some hits. 6 top 10 singles in a row. Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. Their story is very interesting.
Yeah, we've talked about them before, and there's some whack jobs.
Yeah.
They were literally. It sounds a lot like the Tubes. Like it was like,
right.
Okay, how are we gonna fuck this up this time?
Mm-hmm. Screwing around, middle finger and everybody and everything. Yeah, It's cool. It's very cool. Being a little reckless, rock and roll, baby, rock and roll. Okay.
That's my last one. That ends the segment.
My last one. I got one more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You started it.
You started it.
You started it, Mom. Okay, this is the last one.
Will you stop touching me?
This is the last one. For you, Race of Apes, know it.
I don't care how much I got to spend. Give me the next line. I know this.
Oh, you definitely know this song, and I am so glad to get this one on the playlist. Here it is.
Just get me back on my way home again. Oh man, it's there, but it's not. It's just get me on my way back home again. Yeah, what is it? Come on, let's move
Give
it
me
on.
Ticket for an Airplane.
Oh, the Letter.
Yeah.
Joe Cocker's version or the?
You got it. Come on.
Oh, I don't. I can see the album cover. It's 4 guys. I don't. What is it?
Box Tops.
Okay.
Box Tops. Box Tops
Give
from
me
67.
a ticket for an aeroplane.
Yeah, he uses his growly, gruff voice. I am a Joe Cocker fan. I cannot deny that I prefer the Joe Cocker version. The embellishment in the bluesy, just soul-crushing vocals there is my kind of thing. But the Box Tops version is well-known, well-respected, and really cool also. And it's their song. 1967 for them. 1970 for Joe Cocker. It was a single for the Box Tops, written by Wayne Carson Thompson of the Box Tops. 1970, it was on Joe Cocker's Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Interesting to look up some of the details about the Box Tops and whatnot as well. Won't go into it. Wiki page, HitZ. I did a lot of wiki surfing to get my clues together, and I just kept getting lost down rabbit holes. So,
here's one for you, and you know the answer to this. Who was the?
Don't say I know the answer to this. I haven't known the answer to anything so far.
Who was the musical director for Mad Dogs and Englishmen?
Oh yeah, Leon Russell.
There you go. See, I knew you knew that one.
Yeah,
because we've talked about it before.
Right.
All right, brother.
Okay, that is it. That's all the Prime Cuts we have to offer.
However,
and it's time for.
We do have some quick hits.
We got them
to share with you. All right.
Okay.
Time for quick hits.
Okay, quick hits and the official start of the day
with the first bear.
With the twist off. The twist off
of my
official
Miller High Life
beverage.
The champagne
beers. Well, that's fitting because you're like a high class guy.
I am.
You are.
And you know, it used to be the champagne of bottled beers.
That used to be
their actual call tag. Or their.
They made it somebody got away with the champagne of bottled beers,
and then they changed it to the champagne of beers somewhere in the 60s.
Huh. I don't get the champagne of bottled. Why would they limit themselves?
I don't know. Maybe there didn't used to be canned beer.
That's not true. That's not real. I mean, there's been canned shit for a long time.
Oh.
What do I know about the history?
What a
of beer?
wino. Who are you calling a wino?
What a wino. Hey, you know what time it is?
It's time for quick hits.
Quick. Hurry up, quick hit. I'm going to go first. We're going to get right on this.
Oh, whatever, dude.
We've waylaid these people for an hour or more. These person. Here's a quick hit. Okay, you should know this song.
With Abyss of the Mind Flip?
Yeah, I can't believe that didn't immediately click into your head.
Yeah, I
You
know
need
what the
another
song
line?
is. I know what the song is, but what's Abyss?
I don't know. It's the term. It's the word that was the.
It's Time Warp.
Yeah, it's a time warp. From
Rocky Horror.
Right, righto. You're into the time slip.
Yeah,
and nothing
a
will
mind
be the
flip.
same.
I mean, what else has got? What other lyric has mind flip in it?
What's a mind flip? Right. What else has mind flip in it?
Here's to you, by the way.
Yeah, that is the time warp, and that was sung by Riff Raff in the movie.
Yes.
And of a little bit of interest, it was also written by Riff Raff. The guy's name is Richard O'Brien, and it was written by he and Richard Hartley, and then performed by Richard O'Brien as Riff Raff, which I don't know why I get a kick out of knowing that. 1973 from the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack. I remember. Get that on the playlist, and just everybody enjoy it. Get a kick out of it.
Well, you know what'll happen?
Huh.
Everybody will do the time warp.
They will. Again.
All right, man.
Okay, your turn. What do you
It's
got?
a quick hit.
It's quick. Go. The lyric is, I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel all right. Why do I keep singing them? It just comes into my head that way, and I gotta. It's Money Can't Buy Me Love by the Beatles. Isn't that what you call them? Beatles?
The Beatles. That's what I call them.
And the year
Pick one.
66.
64.
64.
Written, oddly enough, by Lennon and McCartney. Hard Day's Night. And I don't believe I have anything other than that, because what else needs to be said? They're the fucking
And
Beatles.
I don't care too much for money. That's just bullshit.
Well, you know what's funny is, what was one of their other hits was Money.
Money, right?
Yeah.
I want money. Okay.
That's what I want.
You ready?
Go. We're quick hitting it.
Quickly. We're doing it quickly. You should know this song quickly.
Time is of the essence. Time is the essence. Time is the season. No, give it to me.
Not getting there? Okay, here's line 2 for you.
Time ain't got no reason. Got no time.
Time
to slow.
ain't no reason.
Burning for you.
Hey, nice.
That's
you got it.
That's the cult.
Man, I knew
Foolish
you.
Cult.
Yes.
That time ain't no reason. Time ain't no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Slow.
I knew the first. Like it was there for the first one, but it just wasn't coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
I
need the next
wasn't
line.
sure. I mean, I was pretty sure, but that song actually got a lot of airplay on crossover stuff too. So I thought it had a pretty good chance of getting in there. So Burning for You, Blue Oyster Cult, written by Donald Roser and R. Meltzer, just R. Meltzer. 1981 off of Fire of Unknown Origin. That's my quick hit. What do you got?
I got.
By the way, I love that song, and I'm glad it's on the playlist. Have I said that enough? Incessantly, it seems like. My quick hit lyric clue is, I heard the news, baby, all about your disease. Well, you may have all you want, baby, but I got something. I'm making it up. He gave me, I heard the news, baby, all about your disease. It's I Ain't Talking About Love.
It's Ain't Talking About Love.
Ain't Talking About Love by
You got it wrong.
Van Halen and the groupage.
Eddie, Alex, David Lee, and Michael Anthony were the writers.
They all wrote it together?
1978. Yes.
A collab, a real collab.
Yes.
Yeah, 78 off of Diver Down. What album?
Van Halen.
Off of Van Halen.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a little ahead there. Okay, my turn.
Yep, go.
You should quickly know this song.
There you stand by your man. Tell me something I can understand. That's Clash.
Yep,
Train in Vain.
correct. And it's off of the album. You know the name.
The Clash.
The album, London Calling. The seminal Clash album. Written by Joe Strummer and Mick Jones from...
1980.
Ooh, right on the head there. Nailed it. Okay, you go.
Okay, this is a way back, but you know it.
Getting in the Wayback Machine, Professor.
Quick hit.
Lyric is, there's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes.
Tell me you don't know this.
I got Papa was a Rolling Stone popped into my head.
No.
No, what is it? Give me another line. You got another line?
Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose.
Don't know it.
Sam Stone by John Prine.
Don't know it.
Really? It is the saddest song you will
shouldn't
ever
be surprised.
fucking hear.
You shouldn't be surprised.
It's about a guy that comes back from the Vietnam War,
Yeah,
strung out on morphine,
sure. Yeah.
which not the Vietnam War, the Korean War. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, take your pick.
But, well, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
John Prine, written by John Prine on the album John Prine.
John Prine.
1971. For those of you who don't know who John Prine is, go find out.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
Yes, go find out.
One of the absolutely the most important folk writers and performers of the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Yeah, highly
Top
influential.
of the list. Top of the list.
Highly influential. A lot of people love and have recorded his music. A lot of people you know.
And along that line, I have a little note. I know this is quick hits, but I'm
Yes.
still going to go there.
Quickly, a quick little note.
Johnny Cash covered this song in a live concert, changing the line, Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose, to Daddy must have hurt a lot back then, I suppose. And then later, in a different version, and Daddy must have suffered a lot back then, I suppose. Artists change lyrics all the time.
Yeah.
But Johnny Cash went to John Prine and said, I can't sing the line, Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. It's just my faith and my conscience will not allow me to.
That's actually kind of surprising.
Yes, but Johnny Cash was a huge Christian, like as fucked
Yeah,
up
but
as
he
his
was
life
also
was.
so defiant and so
Yes, but the
rebellious.
church
and
was
so,
one place
yeah.
that, like, and it probably was my mama would never forgive me kind of a thing.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I don't
Maybe it
know
was more
that,
of
but he
that.
just said I can't do it. John Prine explicitly gave him permission to change the line, which is not necessary.
Sure.
Although he defended the original line as the heart of the song because it means there's no hope. And if a veteran's going to come home and be treated like that, nobody's going to help him with his drug habit, then what's the use in living? That's a quote from John Prine.
From John Prine. Sure.
And I watched, and I'm getting a little misty here, right? I read about this. I wanted to use the song, and I went and I saw the cover, the Johnny Cash cover. I'm like, wow, I never heard that.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard it. And I listened to it, and frankly, it's okay. It's Johnny
Sure.
Cash, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do the song justice.
Sure.
And not because of the line. It just doesn't have the same emotive feeling.
Right.
But then I watched the interview where John Prine says those words. If a veteran's going to come home and be treated like that, nobody's going to help him with his drug habit, then what's the use in living? Dude, I was crying.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And this was 40 or 50 years after the fact that he was giving this interview.
Yeah. It's a pretty crucial and heartbreaking insight.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, my turn. Before we go further down that rabbit hole, we're doing it quick. You ready?
Yep.
You're going to get that in 2 seconds.
It's all right if you love me. but
1002.
It's all right if you don't. I've told you before, my brother used to do this song.
Yeah.
Breakdown by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Correct.
All right, am I doing one more?
Written
Give me
by
your
Tom
stuff.
Petty from 1976. You're doing one more?
Am I? That's what I'm asking.
I started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
your
76 album is Damn the Torpedoes?
album is Breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't I say that? No, I guess I didn't.
All right, one more. I want this one on this playlist.
Nice. Okay, the lyric is, hear me prowling, I'm going to take you down. Nope. Give me more.
I don't
You
have
got any
more
more?
because I assumed that
What's
you would have
next? Hear me prowling, going to take you... Oh, wait, no.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know this.
It just popped into my head right before you went down. I was like, what? No, you idiot, you know that. Can't you hear me knocking?
Yes.
Stones.
Jagger and Richards, Sticky Fingers, 1974. And again, I have a little bit to share.
Okay.
All right? Song is 7 minutes, 15 seconds long.
Uh-huh.
The main song goes for 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
And
then it
the-
becomes, in quotes, an extended improv jam.
And it's so good.
That's the best. To me, it's the best Stones tune because of that extended improv jam
Yeah.
with the sax and the horns and the keyboard. The entire track was captured in one take, with the jam being a happy accident. The band had assumed the tape machine had been stopped and were surprised to find that the entire session had been captured.
Oh, wow, that is so
Originally, they
kick-ass.
were going to end the song before the jam started, but they were so pleased with the jam that they decided to keep going. Besides the regular Stones members, Jagger, Richards, Taylor, Charlie Watts, and Bill Wyman,
Who was playing the sax?
the track also features conga player Richard Dijon, saxophonist Bobby Keys,
There you go.
organist Billy Preston,
Yeah.
and additional percussion by the producer Jimmy Miller.
Nice. That's a cool story. That is
It's
rock and roll.
And the next podcast that we start is going to be called That is Rock and Roll.
rock and roll.
All right.
That's a cool story.
So that's the end of that segment. That's the end of this episode. It's the end of the world as we know it.
And I feel fine.
And I feel fine. It is Christmas season or holiday season for all of you of your various faiths and denominations.
Yes.
I did see a really cool Christmas card that said,
Christmas card or holiday card?
it was a holiday card actually.
Yeah.
It said, it had a picture of a winter scene, and it said, please enjoy this non-denominational holiday greeting on the outside. And on the inside, it said, "You fucking heathen." I was like, that needs to be the card that I send out.
Yes, that needs to be the Christmas card. The Christmas card. Hope everything goes great for you and your fam and all your folks through the holidays into the new year and all that nonsense.
And remember that it's the holiday season, okay?
Yeah.
Be a decent fucking person. Okay,
Well,
that's not a request, by the way. That's an order.
And maybe do it with just a little more panache
Than I did.
than that implies.
Yeah, let's just remember that everybody's having a hard time. You've never worn anybody else's shoes.
That's right.
You know, be good to each other.
You don't know their story. You don't know their
struggles.
difficulties, their
Right.
struggles. Don't be judgmental. You judgmental asshole.
Thank you for putting that in there because I was going to.
And thanks for tuning in. And we are Mixed Apes.
And this is You Should Know This Song.
Right.
And we are out.
And we're out. See you in the next one. Peace. Ho, ho, ho.